गिरिवरधारी गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रजजन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रजजन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Sri Radhe, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Gaur Purnamdi. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Pri Pradikacharya Stotra Satta Sri Simad His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skandi BP Founder Charya's Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samavata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Gaur Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksuramiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Ditam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanditam Scha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutedevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacham Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Seva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayashabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatu Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samitam Uttama Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Sarabhyay Namaha. Om Sarabhyay Namaha. Om Sarabhyay Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class. These look very nice, eh? The circular.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it?
It's new.
Huh?
New.
Yes.
Oh.
New. Krishna consciousness is all about new.
Yeah.
New.
Keep going.
More and more new, yeah. Anyways, we'll comment on that a little bit later on, but so as not to be too distracted, we will stick to our verse. We are continuing in the 18th chapter of the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which happens to be entitled as Maharaj Pariksit Cursed by a Brahmana Boy. And yesterday we read a beautiful verse, and today we're reading another beautiful verse. Text 14, 1:18:14. Ko nama tripyad rasavit kathayam mahata maekanta parayanasya nantam gunanam agunasya jagmur yogeshvara ye bhava padma mukhyaha. Ko nama tripyad rasadit kathayam mahatamaikanta parayanasya nantam gunanam agunasya jagmur Yogeshwaraye baba padma mukhya. Kunama tripyad rasavit kathayam mahatmai kanta parayanasya nantam gunanam agunasya jagmur Yogeshwaraye baba padma mukhyaha. Ko nama tripyad rasavit kathayam Mahattamai kanta parayanasya Nantam gunanam agunasya jagmura Yogeshwaraye bhava padma mukhyaha Ko nama tripyad rasavit kathayam Mahattamai kanta parayanasya Nantam gunanam maganasya jagamur Yogeshwaraye bhava padma mukhyaha Ko nama tripyad rasavit kathayam Mahatmai kanta paranasya Nantam gunanam magunasya jagamur Yogeshwaraye bhava padma mukhyaha
Ko nama tripyed rasavit kathayam
O nama tripyad rasavit kathayam
Mahatmai kanta parayanasya
Mahattamai kanta parayanasya
Nantam gunanam agunasya jagmur
Nantam gunanam magunasya jagamur
Yogeshwaraye bhava padma mukhya
Yogeshwaraye bhava padma mukhyaha Mataji. Ko nama tripyad rasavit kathayam Mahattamai kanta parayanasya Nantam gunanam magunasya jagmur Yogeshwaraye bhava padma mukhyaha Kaha. Who is he?
Who is he?
Nama.
Nama
Specifically. Tripyat. Get full satisfaction.
Get full satisfaction.
Rasavit.
Rasavit.
Expert in relishing mellow nectar.
Expert in relishing mellow nectar.
Mellow nectar. Rasavit. Kathayam.
Kathayam.
In the topics of.
In the topics of.
Mahat Tarana.
Mahatama.
I'm sorry. Mahatama.
Mahatama.
The greatest amongst the living beings.
The greatest among the living beings.
Ekanta.
Ekanta.
Exclusively.
Exclusively.
Parayanasya.
Parayanasya.
Of one who is the shelter of.
Of one who is the shelter of.
Na. Never. Antam.
Antam.
End.
And.
Gunanam.
Gunana.
Of attributes.
Of attributes.
Agunasya.
Agunasya.
Of the transcendence.
Of the transcendence.
Jagmuhu.
Jagmuhu.
Could ascertain.
Could ascertain.
Yoga Ishvaraha.
Yogeshwaraha.
The lords of mystic power.
The Lord of mystic power.
Ye.
Ye.
All they.
All they.
Bhava.
Bhava.
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva.
Padma.
Padma.
Yes. Lord Brahma.
Lord Brahma.
Mukhyaha.
Mukhyaha.
Heads.
Heads.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Govinda, is the exclusive shelter for all great living beings, and his transcendental attributes cannot even be measured by such masters of mystic powers as Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Can anyone who is expert in relishing nectar, rasa, ever be fully satiated by hearing topics about him? Kindly repeat after me. The personality of Godhead,
The personality of Godhead,
Lord Krishna Govinda,
Lord Krishna Govinda,
is the exclusive shelter
is the exclusive shelter
for all great living beings,
for all great living beings,
and his transcendental attributes
and his transcendental attributes
cannot even be measured
cannot even be measured
by such masters
by such masters
of mystic powers
of mystic powers
as Lord Shiva
as Lord Shiva
and Lord Brahma.
and Lord Brahma.
Can anyone
Can anyone
who is expert in relishing nectar,
who is expert in relishing nectar,
rasa,
rasa,
ever be fully satiated
ever be fully satiated
by hearing topics about him?
by hearing topics about him?
Purport. Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are two chiefs of the demigods. They are full of mystic powers. For example, Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison, of which one drop was sufficient to kill an ordinary living being. Similarly, Brahma could create many powerful demigods, including Lord Shiva. So they are Iswaras, or lords of the universe. But they are not the supreme powerful. The supreme powerful is Govinda, Lord Krishna. He is the transcendence, and his transcendental attributes cannot be measured even by such powerful Ishvaras as Shiva and Brahma. Therefore, Lord Krishna is the exclusive shelter of the greatest of all living beings. Brahma is counted amongst the living beings, but he is the greatest of all of us. And why is the greatest of all the living beings so much attracted to the transcendental topics of Lord Krishna? Because he is the reservoir of all enjoyment. Everyone wants to relish some kind of taste in everything, but one who is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord can derive unlimited pleasure from such engagement. The Lord is unlimited, and his name, attributes, pastimes, entourage, variegatedness, etc., are unlimited, and those who relish them can do so unlimitedly and still not feel satiated. This fact is confirmed in the Padma Purana. Ramante yogino nante satyananda chit atmani iti rama padinasau param brahma vidhiyate. Padma Purana. The translation of this verse: the mystics derive unlimited transcendental pleasures from the Absolute Truth, and therefore the Supreme Absolute Truth, the personality of Godhead, is also known as Rama. End of quotation. And the last paragraph of the purport: there is no end to such transcendental discourses. In mundane affairs, there is the law of satiation. But in transcendence, there is no such satiation. Sutta Goswami desired to continue the topics of Lord Krishna before the sages of Naimisharanya. And the sages also expressed their readiness to hear from him continuously. Since the Lord is transcendence and his attributes are transcendental, such discourses increase the receptive mood of the purified audience. Translation again. The personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Govinda, is the exclusive shelter for all great living beings, and his transcendental attributes and cannot even be measured by such masters of mystic powers as Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Can anyone who is expert in relishing nectar, rasa, ever be fully satiated by hearing topics about him? The answer is no. Very nice. Nicely presented how the subject matter of transcendence, because they are fully transcendental, of a completely different nature than temporary, limited material matters. It is, as it is mentioned here, one can never become satiated by hearing such topics, by dwelling or by meditating or by discussing and understanding such subject matters. And even the greatest of all personalities known to us in the material world, the greatest of the demigods, namely Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, they cannot, we could say, we can also add Anantasesh, they they can never fully and completely describe the unlimited and ever expanding nature and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. And this point, of course, of rasa, which is a very deep subject matter, it is one of the 10 tattvas that is, I was going to say it is unknown to the materialistic people, that type of rasa. They know, materialistic people know about rasa. Of course, they don't know the word rasa, but because by nature one cannot live without rasa. Rasa means what is actually attractive. Rasa, taste, mellow. That is proper. Yeah. mellow nectar, properly. Relishing mellow nectar. I've not heard that expression before. Mellow nectar. So, Krishna is all attractive, and because we are created, Mamai Vangsho Jivaloki, Jivaloka, Jivabhuta Sanatana, we are the eternal living entities created by Krishna. So we also have that attractive feature. It means we have that we have that um, quality of attraction uh, built within us, and therefore that's why everyone in the material world is attracted generally to something or other, uh, and everyone is busy trying to taste and experience this kind of whatever we may call it, pleasure, taste in different activities, but they become just like Prabhupada was giving the example. I can give you one rasgulla, and you'll say, "Oh, nice." I'll give you a second one. Yes, yes, very nice. I'll give you a third one. Yes. But then after 5 or 6, okay.
No, you can just too much already. You can just
I mean,
don't worry.
in the early days, the devotees used to have competition.
Yeah,
Uh,
below 30 is no problem. Just a little
there were
lemon,
records. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
little lemon juice.
But the point being that whatever that number is,
Yes, that finite number.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Deadline.
But in the spiritual realm, when one's consciousness is sufficiently purified, there is no end. That is being conveyed here, and that is what makes Krishna consciousness attractive, because we know, even though we may not always be situated on that platform, but we know that the nature of the topics and discussions and the nature of the activities, I mean, the very nature, the essence of Krishna consciousness is something that is, as given in the title itself of the Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu, an ocean of transcendental nectar, which which is meant to continue eternally. So that's why people sometimes, most materialistic people, cannot understand how devotees can give up so many things, because they don't understand that devotees are taking up, are rejecting what is something inferior, because they're able to param drisva nivartate, to taste, to experience uh, something that is higher. And that's what Krishna consciousness is all about. And that's why in this assembly in Naimisharanya, the sages, who were sufficiently purified, could appreciate the transcendental topics that were being presented by Sutta Goswami, who had, as we know, had just received, who was just coming out of a 7-day Bhagavatam class, non-stop Bhagavatam class, 7 days, 7 nights. Shukadeva Goswami spoke on so many different topics to Parikshit Maharaj, and this is what he was, relating to the sages in Naimisharanya. And the whole Vedic culture actually is meant to facilitate, is meant to minimize our so-called, different material activities, because being in the material world, we have to engage in different activities for basic maintenance or basic duties or responsibilities. But those are meant to be minimized so that we can have maximum time to actually hear about and discuss topics of a transcendental nature, because that is, as one becomes more and more purified, that is what is um, the Atma, or the soul, is actually hankering for, connected with the topic of Sat and Asat. Devotees are interested in what is permanent, what is um, of a of an eternal nature. So that is that is being touched upon here, that these are the subject matters that the devotees of the Lord and just that very thought, just that very understanding that just like now we're in one particular section of the Bhagavatam, we're hearing about this pastime of Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami. We are getting to appreciate the wonderful qualities of these two great personalities. We're getting to hear about subject matters that are very attractive. So the Bhagavatam is full of such subject matters, and there are more. Lord Brahma, he prays Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Ajam Puranam Purusham Navayovanam Cha. So Anantarupam, Prabhupada explains that the Lord, he has unlimited forms because he assumes so many different incarnations to enact so many different pastimes in the material world, simply to attract the conditioned souls back to their original nature and original position, and to reawaken us to our original nature. So we cannot begin to, we cannot fathom how it will be in the spiritual world, where that's everything completely is is of that nature. Here the sages were meeting for a 1,000-year sacrifice, but in the spiritual world, it just for the whole of eternity, such exchanges and such topics will be experienced or relished by the devotees. And what is being also pointed out by Srila Prabhupada is that we can begin to enter into that realm, that transcendental realm, even here being in the material world, simply by, as Prabhupada would say, by giving oral reception to the topics that are being presented here. So, yeah. Padma Mukhya. How is that translated?
Padma refers to one who is seated on Padma, lotus, that's Amma.
Heads.
And then Mukhyaha referring to the heads.
Yes.
Which is, one is Brahma, other being Shiva, Tama, Tamas.
Yes. Yeah, those great personalities. Agunasya, just like there is, what is it? Mala and Amala. Amala Puranam. Yeah, pure. So Agunasya means without any tinge or connection with the gunas, the modes of material nature. And that is only when one can actually come to that position or stage of being able to constantly relish these topics of transcendence, when we are freed from the gunas or the modes of material nature. Yeah. So yes.
In the purport, Srila Prabhupada refers to the law of satiation.
Yes.
And it just reminded me that there's another aspect of the law of satiation which is very much connected to Varnashrama. Narad Muni alludes to this in the 7th canto, 11th chapter,
Mm.
where he gives this analogy of yield.
Field.
Yeah, in the field there is yield of crops.
Yes.
Right? So he says every year, unless there is an external stimuli, maybe manure or fertilizer, the yield keeps on dropping. The yield of the crops
Yes.
reduces unless the soil is enriched
Yes.
year after year. So this we can extend in this world when people, if they are engaged with the motivation of getting some remuneration, but not connected with their gunas, we can practically see that every year if I'm getting the same salary and I'm not engaged according to my gunas, my motivation to work reduces.
Yes.
First, when I take up the job, I'm like, oh, I'm getting so much money. But the next year, I'm already satiated. Like, hey, I don't feel so enthused to give the same input to my effort unless they keep on increasing my salary. And so you see that the salary has to be increased every year.
Incentive.
So the relation to the varnashrama is that one is this is not sustainable because there is an external stimuli that's needed to encourage people to work.
Right.
Another thing is, in next verse, Narad Muni mentioned that the whole purpose of this varnashrama to engage people according to the gunas is to bring them to the stage of niskam karma, because if one is impelled according to their gunas, it doesn't matter if how much remuneration they are getting. They are just going to work because that's their nature, and so that it's very easy to come to the stage of niskam karma, which is a stepping stone for bhakti.
Right.
And so that's another very important dimension. The foundation dimension in terms of bringing people to niskam karma. The foundation of this is based on this principle of satiation in the material world, and how the yield is connected. The yield of the work is connected to it.
Yes. So that also needs to be connected with the fact that within the system of Varna and Ashrama, unless that unless that spiritual dimension is added,
we have to add Daiva Varnashrama.
Right, yeah, correct. Unless the Daiva is there, unless the divine dimension, and in our understanding, as explained by acharyas, that divine dimension is not simply something spiritual. It is, as explained by Srila Rupa Goswami, it needs to come to the level of being devotional.
Yes.
Yeah. In other words, Daiva for us, I mean, generally Daiva is translated as divine. Yeah, right. You know, the divine light mission or whatever. They have so many. Yeah, right. But for us, and that's like essential and absolutely fundamental. For us, divine means
devotional.
Means Krishna, means because devotional service is the exclusive property, we could say, of Krishna. One doesn't develop because Krishna, that is one of the tattvas actually. He is rasa samudra. He is an ocean of rasa, of devotion, and he is also the source of all the rasa, isn't it? He's an ocean of rasa. He's like unlimitedly displaying and experiencing, and when relationship with the living entities are reawakened, then this is what awaits the liberated souls. They engage in such rasa unlimitedly, and the source of that rasa. So therefore, within the whole system of varnashrama, it will become relishable. It will only become relishable and properly executed when that daiva element, divine element, is is included as well. Otherwise, there will be satiation. People will no longer be enthused. Uh, so that means that actually within Daiva Varnashrama, the real and the only incentive is that spiritual dimension, isn't it? Otherwise, we'll get tired, even though it's our nature to engage in some activities, but it will bring some kind of satisfaction, but if it simply remains on the bodily or material platform, it will not fully satisfy us. Yeah. So it means we have to look at these two.
Both aspects.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. The proper understanding in terms of Varnashrama needs to be there both on the material and spiritual level. Yeah. And if we only get it right on the material level, it will not work ultimately.
Only on spiritual level.
Yeah, right. Yeah, both are needed. Correct.
My question is that in Varnashram there are so many knowledge about different type of karma.
Different types of karma.
Describe
like daily activities, what should do, what not.
Nimitic karma, nitya karma.
Yeah. So, but that's someone have to keep in their mind when they choose. Okay, no, we do this one, this one, this one. This all they actually they have to remember on that karmic instructions to follow Varnashram properly. But then in other way, there is an instruction for devotees to always think of Krishna. But not so easy to think of Krishna when there's this kind of material relationship, which also coming from Krishna, of course, but it's not directly explaining Krishna's activities, Krishna's dealings. So how one can follow Varnashram and still merge into the thought of Krishna in this daily program?
Well, well, Prabhupada explains how we Krishna is not only meant to be appreciated or experienced when we see the form of Krishna or when we interact directly with Krishna, but we need, because Krishna is all pervading. Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is in the taste of water. So when we taste water, when we see the sun, when we see the moon, these, as Krishna explained in the Bhagavad Gita, these are all emanations of Krishna. One who has sufficient purified consciousness will see the presence of Krishna everywhere in all his activities, actually. Yeah.
To answer Prabhu's question, the other aspect on a lower platform is that thing is, for us it's very alien. So because we are not established in that Varnashram society, but when a community is established, when people are living according to it, this becomes a second nature through culture. It's not that one has to make an extra effort that I need to do this activity, this naimitic duty, this nitya duty according to the prescription, but because it's absorbed through immersion, and that just becomes second nature. There's no extra effort to remember I need to do this. It's just part of the culture.
It becomes something like Raganuga.
Spontaneous.
more spontaneous, more natural.
No extra endeavor involved.
Right.
Because that's how one is raised in that culture.
Right. Well, the whole arrangement of Varnashrama, especially, and that's, I would say, essential and crucial, the whole arrangement of Varnashrama, when the agrarian lifestyle element is present, is bringing us to our closest um, natural activities which are actually going on in the spiritual world. I mean, in Goloka, it's called Goloka because it's a planet of cows, and everyone is interacting in so many different ways in terms of um, different relationships that are being established, etc. In other words, the point I'm trying to make is that Krishna's perfect system of Varna and Ashrama, when properly understood, and when we live it as Krishna and Balaram and all the residents of Braja demonstrated in Vrindavan, then the closer we come to that, we are living in the spiritual world. We are experiencing what is, so in other words, that system, although material system externally is meant to bring us to that highest level of transcendence, which is devotional, and fix and focus actually on Krishna through all all of the different simple natural activities connected with cows, connected with land, because those are described, isn't it, by Grandfather Bhishma Dev as being the gifts, the three gifts of nature that will more easily enable that type of understanding and consciousness to actually develop. And that's why when we hear about devotees speaking about Varnashrama without this element, it's like something is missing. I mean, yeah. Even though we are, people speak about the Vedic Varnashrama and try to differentiate between, the Vedic Varnashrama, which is long gone and which is practically destroyed today, and somehow are thinking that Prabhupada has given us a different Varnashrama called Daiva Varnashrama, where you don't need to live and be connected. Yeah.
It's a perverted understanding of what.
Well, it's amazing how different conceptions, because I suppose in many ways that is the nature of those who are maybe on the mental platform. You can think about so many different versions, or yeah. But to me, it seems like simple and obvious that the whole description of Varnashram is in the pages of the Bhagavatam, and the whole system of Varnashram has been lived and demonstrated by the residents of Vrindavan. And so that if we stick to the pages of the Bhagavatam, if we stick to the description of the lifestyle demonstrated by the residents of Vrindavan, by Krishna Balaram, which is teaching us. See, this is another aspect which we generally don't discuss very much because it's practically unknown. What is called the four Vedic sciences, like the science of education, which is one of the four Vedic sciences, and the science of economics, which is another. They are like the pillars of the Vedic culture. So the Vedic science of economy is Krishi Guraksha. You can't get away from it. The Vedic science of education for the majority of young boys is looking after the calves and the cows and doing agriculture.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada said,
So it's like if we miss that, I think we miss Krishna ultimately. Yeah. So we may be so far removed from what, Hare Krishna, they're very friendly, what was the ideal, in the Vedic times. We are so far removed, but that doesn't mean that if we take the necessary steps that we cannot slowly, gradually reintroduce.
True.
Isn't it? Yeah. So, what to speak if we put grains on the ground?
Even found worm maybe.
Huh?
Worm, some small animal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, it's breakfast time
And
today.
they
Cleaning.
know.
Cleaning.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Service.
Correct. Yeah. So, yeah, so that when we start to see, I would put it like this: when we start to see Varnashram in the light of how it's presented in the Bhagavatam, it becomes very attractive. Why it becomes attractive? Because we can slowly, gradually see how it is helping us to come closer to Krishna.
Practically.
Yes. And as you mentioned rightly also, these two dimensions
Yes.
need to go hand in hand. That's why we speak about, spiritual swadharma and material swadharma. We as devotees and as a society, unfortunately, for the vast majority, we are missing out and not understanding what is our material swadharma. Yes.
It's reminded of this book my Guru Maharaj wrote, Glimpses of Traditional Indian Life,
Ah, yes, nice.
in which there are interviews of devotees
Yes,
who were
yes.
raised in village life. And one of them mentioned at the end of that interview is that the whole village life was governed or organized in such a way with temple in the center and worship
Yes,
without any extra effort or endeavor, but could easily go back to God.
correct. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
You just have to follow what people around you are doing.
Correct. Yeah,
And
it's
that's
the
it.
perfect
There's no extra
lifestyle.
effort.
It's just yes, yes. So that is why, I mean, some arguments that are presented is that looking after cows is not easy. Looking after cows is not easy if our mindset is not
Easy.
to look after cows.
Yes.
If I want to drive my Hummer and also practice Varnashram, that's
Yeah. So we are not understanding that the whole lifestyle, the whole economy is centered around cows and land.
and also coming to easy part, right? Thing is, austerity is a leg of dharma. We have to accept
Yes,
it,
yes.
right?
Yes,
That's why the foundation of Varnashram is again built on this four legs of dharma.
yes,
So if we are going to be austere, then forget it, right? So we are that way far disconnected
right.
from
Yeah,
what the
that is
process and the goal is.
Yeah.
Vairagya Vidya. Vairagya Vidya, and when there's a nice verse in the Bhagavatam, when does Vairagya and Vidya come?
Yes.
Uh, yes, Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Sayad Ahaitukam. Causeless means without endeavor. It automatically will come. Detachment and knowledge will come when we live according to bhakti devotional service within the context of the lifestyle that has been given to us, means the varnashrama lifestyle, the village lifestyle. That's why village is, it's not just, again, sometimes devotees, they will say that, farms, varnashram is not really about farms, they will say. In one sense, yes, because farms is like meant to be a stepping stone to villages. You can't take out villages from the equation of varnashram. Because when you take out villages, you know, you, the cows and the bulls are out of the picture, and growing your own food is out of the picture. And what happens? You starve, or you're drawn into what is going on in the world today in terms of, chemically engineered foods.
GMO, genetically modified.
Yeah.
What's happening now?
Huh?
What's happening now?
Yes. Yeah. And so means the whole um, arrangement, the whole material arrangement becomes more and more contaminated and polluted, which is naturally making us contaminated and polluted as well.
Complex, unsustainable,
Yes,
everything.
yeah. All of the opposite of what simple living and high thinking is meant to bring. So yeah, this is important to make that connection, because otherwise we simply, the tendency, and that we have seen in the history, in our own history means our own, Vaishnava history since the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when we're not down to earth in terms of keeping in mind the lifestyle that was displayed by the residents of Vrindavan, then we get into sahajism. We become sahajas.
Easy.
Huh?
There is no austerity.
Right.
Easy. Sahaj, Prakriti Sahaj.
So that is very dangerous. Okay. Oh, it is that time also. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj ki
Hare Krishna.